Because it's the cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon. When he coming home, Dad, I don't know when.
Super Fast Tortoise in the show, drinking coffee, wishing you all well, because life is swell. Super Fast Tortoise. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and trends have been the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow.
Welcome to the morning coffee show. It's so great to have you guys here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And for those over 40, you're welcome for the song I just stuck in your head for the rest of the day. Everybody loves cats in the cradle. Wow. It is already Thursday. Hillbilly, remind me if we're not too busy, remind me to do movers and shakers today. I told you we did today. We'll try to get it done today.
Yep.
But yeah, but man,
Or you can skip it this week.
That's a possibility. Cane Shaker, whoa, Cane Shaker.
Good morning,
Cane Shaker, you handsome devil. Look at you. Your computer's working for you today. We're happy. We're pleased. We're all excited. And I had a feeling he would show up, Cane Shaker, because we're talking about the bracket system today. and that's ironic. But still, how the hell are you guys doing today? How are you doing, Hillbilly?
Doing okay. I mean, I had a bad run this morning on the arena, but doing okay.
Mm-hmm. I seen you scoop more times than an ice cream shop today.
Yeah, sure did. It was another removal travel all freaking morning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And how are you doing, Tybalt?
Doing good. No real complaints and stuff. Happy to be here again, getting to join you guys. And I'm going to say there's nothing wrong with the bracket system. It works perfectly fine.
Sounds like a man in denial.
That's a hot take.
All right, man. How are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. Had a wonderful game of Magic last night with some people who are in this channel. And boy, I'm tired from all the morphing we did last night.
Morphin time. Go Power Rangers. Rayman connected to the morphing grid. That was insane.
It was absolutely nuts. And anybody who watches that stream can hear it. I say GG, and the energy just leaves my body in a sigh of relief.
I mean, what? A turn 5 Eldrazi Titan, then a turn 6 9/9 dinosaur, then a couple turns later, 45 cards are drawn in a single turn.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah. And if I could have just drawn one more thing to give somebody card draw, would have been a good thing.
Right?
Ooh, boy, I was sweating. I'm like, if they have something that can make a player draw a card, I'm dead. I have no cards left. I have to go now.
That was insane. Like I could have drawn removal. I could have drawn Whispering Madness. I could have drawn a board wipe. 3 things I normally see in a game with that deck. I got zilch, 0, none. It was not my day to have removal at all. Except I did blow up everybody's artifacts.
Yes, you did. Got rid of my beautiful door.
Your Door of Destinies. That was crazy. But insane. Last night's game felt a little uneven all around, but the power level was definitely different. Like I felt like I had the slowest deck there.
I feel all the time.
Right. I felt like I had the slowest deck at the party. Hillbilly can feel that way. I get that. I felt that some of the choices that were made had to be done at an unfair feeling, like you had to do it because with that Eldrazi Titan, player removal was the only removal we had. We didn't have a basic destroyer spell,
It was the only removal that you guys knew of.
Yeah.
Sitting face down on that table was a flip over destroy a creature spell.
Yeah.
That could have got rid of you.
Oh yeah.
You guys just weren't aware of that, and part of the morph deck is keeping my opponents in the dark as to what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Mr. Tierney, what's up? Wait till the Hulk meets Eldrazi. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's funny.
Such a great card that they've previewed so early.
Unfortunately, I don't think that the Hulk in Magic gets to go to hell and then come back through the green door and just appear back in the game.
Right, like an Eldrazi who like those are Titans that go to the graveyard and they shuffle back into your library so you can get them again.
Yeah, and see, that'd be a great thing for the Hulk because that's how he works in the comics. When the Hulk dies, he actually goes to hell. A green door appears. He walks through it, and he's back.
Nice. All right, let's get to that part of the day that we all love.
Card of the day.
Card of the day, which is actually brought to us by TCG, dude. And I'm reading the card, and I think this is from a standard point of view or a modern point of view type card, even though this is Legacy Legal. But the 60 card format comes to mind when I read this card, not Commander, but it's still good.
Yeah.
Piety costs 2 generic and a white. This is all defending creatures gain +0/+3 until the turn. That's all it does. Whoever obeys God and his prophets fear God and does his duty to him will surely find success. The Quran 2452, which is an actual quote, which is ridiculous in old Magic cards. They were actual quotes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this card is fun. It's definitely a combat eccentric card. It works on the combat. It talks about defending players. Creatures gain +0/+3 until turn. Not much to be said.
I think it's really cool if you're playing a white token deck, which we talked about yesterday, how almost all token decks are white.
Right.
If you're playing a white token deck, this is actually a really cool card because you may have somebody who is swinging with just enough to kill you, and even with your blockers, and then you drop this and you're like, oh no, I'm not. These things are not going to die. I'm not going to die.
Right.
And then they have to deal with the repercussions of that.
Yeah.
So I like this card a lot. I actually know someone right now because I don't know what this card costs. It is Arabian Nights, so it could be expensive on the reserve list. But I actually know someone at my LGS who I'm going to tell about this card because I did not remember this from Arabian Nights.
Oh yeah. This Tyranny says, I'm surprised that card isn't banned. Me either.
Same here.
Giving all your creatures +0/+3 seems bannable.
I think you mean because of the Quran quote.
I think it's the Quran quote.
I do too. I mean, you're quoting the Quran, and I don't think that's. I think it goes against religions.
Well,
I think it goes against other religions.
I think it brings up another interesting Universes Beyond debate because I've said this in the past, and I'm going to have to stand corrected after seeing this card. I was going to say that things in the real world, like pizza, and newspaper, and hot dogs and things, don't belong in Magic because they're not fantasy setting. But if we remember, back in the Arabian Nights, they took them right directly from there and put actual, characters and stuff from our modern world into, well, not our modern world, but they took those actual characters and quotes and put them in the game already, so they're already in there.
Well,
Yeah, they have been for a long time.
There were some cards that were designed based off real world holidays, like All Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. There's 100 Arabian Nights. That's right. That's the story it's from. The set's designed around. Yep. I appreciate that bit of information. But yeah, so this card is pretty spicy when it comes to context of the card, right? You look at the card, you read the card, and it's like the card doesn't seem great as a major card, but out of context, when you start talking about the quote, the stories, and the stuff that comes from this card, or this card comes from, it's actually pretty spicy when you start delving into the history. We learned a lot just in the last couple minutes. Betting card simply because it quotes Quran. Would you watch the count so fast? Right, DC dude, what's up?
Well, maybe they should do that. So they would have to go into damage control and undo the reserve list to get everybody back. I'm on board with this.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, I think they should do something about the card because it does, like I say, go against other religions and everything.
It doesn't go against other religions.
That card is bringing religion into magic.
Right,
religion
right.
doesn't have nothing to do with magic.
But it doesn't break other religions. It's just quoting from a religious book. So it's not. It's something they don't do anymore because it's not PC anymore.
Right.
Right. Because they have quoted the Bible. They have quoted Edgar Allan Poe. They have quoted real people. They even quoted Homer in a couple cards. It's just something they did, and they don't do so much anymore.
Do any of you guys have an unholy strength that has?
You beat me to it. You beat me to it because I was just getting ready to go there.
Because I have one.
Yeah. I have several of them. I've kept them, as a matter of fact.
I do not, but I know what you're talking about. The one with the pentagram in the back of it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah. So there was a point where they did remove what they considered to some people to be offensive or whatever. So it's hard. How far do you go without overcorrecting and stuff?
Right. Yeah. That's a good question. But
that's a deep rabbit hole or turtle hole.
Now we're going to move to the picture of the day. Picture of the day is bracket system holding me down to an uncomfortable level of questions as I watch people break the system. I trust me. I tried making it look like a turtle was struggling, tied to rope and everything, but this is the best I got.
I've got that picture of that turtle chained up in the pain lab. We could always use that.
That's a good idea. But yeah, so yeah, the picture of the day is about holding us down to an uncomfortable level of questions because there's some things we were reading about the bracket system last night, and it got me wondering, like, how do you do one thing without the other? So that's a crazy question in general. I mean, what do you guys? Do you guys ever feel this way with the bracket system, or do you feel like the Default, where everything's perfect, fine, and dandy, as the house is burning down?
I don't think that. I think those are two separate questions, because the one question is I don't feel like the bracket system holds me down, but I also do not feel like everything is fine. That's just not my issue with it. My issue with the bracket system isn't that it's holding me down. So those are, to me, those are two separate questions that have two separate answers.
Yeah.
For me, I've had or experienced, I'm going to say experienced more problems or seen more problems since the bracket system, only because, well, I won't say only because. I've seen that more because it feels like people are min-maxing and trying to get the most out of the system.
Correct.
I've never seen that when we just dealt with it ourselves. Our own brackets, not brackets, but our 1 through 10. What's your rating of your deck? Everything's a 7.
Everything's a 7, baby.
But I don't feel like, I feel like the bracket system has led to more feel bads than anything else.
Yeah,
what I've seen.
There's a lot of feel bads. That's crazy. Yeah, you guys got some good points going on there. Good ideas.
Well, I think they should put tiers into this. I've said it. I know I'll keep on preaching this, but I do think they need to put tiers in these brackets, especially 3 and 4.
Like a small, medium, large tier. Like
exactly.
Like novice, medium, and and pro.
Exactly.
So here's my issue with the tier system in the brackets. If people are using the brackets properly, then the tier system isn't needed. And the tiers are just going to add more complexity into a system that people are already not understanding.
Right.
Like I'd actually talked to Hillbilly yesterday off stream. And if Hillbilly's okay with me kind of talking about what we talked about, then I will tell him what I told him. When we played bracket 4 the other night, I felt personally, and I told him that I spent a lot of time thinking about it, that his deck needs to just take out the Sanguine Bond and the Exquisite Blood, and it would just be a very solid level 3 deck. Because even though Architect is looking at his cards and saying, hey, this is a level 4 deck, that doesn't mean that it's going to play against other level 4 decks very well. If you look, level 4, if you look at the bracket system, they're saying, let bracket 4 decks can end games on turn 4. And I feel like your deck needs to at least be able to do that at times. If you're expecting the game to end at 4, your deck needs to be able to end at 4. And if it can't, then change what needs to be changed and take yourself down to where you more fit in.
Well, yeah, but also look, yesterday's game was supposed to be a bracket 3 game.
It also didn't end until turn 10.
Right, but it could have ended sooner with all the powerful plays we had by turn 5.
It could have.
Right.
It could have.
So that's one of the things that are crazy.
But remember, the brackets is about consistency.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I know this person.
I know. Sorry, go ahead.
This is my friend from Texas.
Nice.
Oh,
Welcome.
So it's about consistency. If your deck is going to win on turn 5 every game, then you're not a bracket 3. You need to go up to 4.
Oh yeah.
Make your deck and move it to 4.
Well,
if you can every now and then win at 5 because you just got a crazy hand and no one had any interaction, then that's okay. Because Gavin himself has said, when we say a game needs to end at 6 for bracket 3, that's assuming that your opponents have some interaction and you're not just playing solitaire and doing everything that you want to do and win the game. So I think that's part of it. I think people look at, and we've talked about this, people look at the bracket system the way they look at Modern or Standard or Pioneer. They look at the restrictions and say, I'm going to build the best possible thing I can build for that, instead of doing what the intention is building your deck and then seeing where it fits.
Yeah. All right, hold on. The Bald's been trying to say something for a couple minutes.
I'll get off my soapbox.
Only because I'm going to disagree with you entirely.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm just joking. But I would say there's absolutely nothing wrong with Hillbilly's deck. And again, I've talked to Hillbilly off stream, and I hope you don't mind me talking about this, but we're talking about it now, and I think it's something everybody. I don't think there's anything wrong with your deck. I think you just need to play differently, to approach the game differently. And I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong, but I talked about this a little bit with you before and stuff too, that like, I think that by changing your approach to the game, it's not going to necessarily matter what deck you're playing. If you're looking at it from the standpoint of, well, I'm going to just drag everybody in here, name drop. Captain Waffles was on here not too long ago, and we talked with him, and he talked about shotgun decks being having too lacking focus and stuff. I'm going all over the place. Let me back up just 1 second. I'm going to point out the bracket deck that I played yesterday was bracket 2.
Right.
So it was arguably underpowered for the game. And yes, I did feel like I could have been, but I got the cards that I needed when I needed it. And, I was the guy that removed the other player from the game. So, and I could have, things could have gone vastly different, but it was because my deck is built in such a way that it can perform differently in different situations.
Well, it's also in the same vein as the Voltron deck will function differently in different situations.
For sure.
Can I ask the Vault a question?
Absolutely.
Why, when you say my deck is a bracket 2 deck, why do you say that? Like, what is What is the criteria that you are using to say this deck is a bracket 2 deck?
I am just defaulting to whatever. I plug it into anything and say, and get a number off of a website, basically.
Okay, that's why, and that's my issue with and I don't blame Tybalt or Hillbilly or anybody else because a lot of people use Architect and Moxfield and they plug their deck in and it says, oh hey, your deck is this bracket. The problem is those things cannot tell you what bracket your deck belongs in. It can't. It can tell you, hey, you have 3 game changers, so you're at least a bracket 3. But I have a deck that runs no game changers. I mean, nothing. Has no game changers, has no infinite combos. So Architect tells me that it's a bracket 2. It is undeniably an incredibly high level bracket 3 deck.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't think that Tybalt's deck last night was a bracket 2. It might have been a weaker bracket 3, but you did on the 6th turn of the game. Tybalt was the first player. For those people who didn't see the game, Tybalt was the first player. The Eldrazi dropped on 5. On Tybalt's 6th turn, he killed the guy with the Eldrazi.
Right.
A bracket 2 deck isn't going to be able to do that.
So now we get into this point here where if we had removed the bracket system from the equation and we were pre-bracket, I would have assigned my deck. Well, I would have said it was a 7. No, I would have given it a more random number. And I think by having less rules and letting the person determine what they think their deck is in some ways better than looking just at the brackets. Because if we just look at the brackets, then people are trying to fit it into there. So I agree with what you're saying. I think that maybe I am wrong to call this a 2 because of intent.
Yeah, well, so that's one thing I want to get into, but really quick, I want to say hello, Core. You made it. You look
Core.
Yeah, but anyways, the 5th bracket thing, right? Here's my issue, and this is why I ask about the 5th bracket. So earlier, James Willis was asking if the 5th bracket was there already a 5th bracket? Because you got bracket 1 through 4, then you got CEDH, which is technically the 5th bracket. But here's my issue, and I think Ray hit on this issue. You can have a bracket 2 deck work at bracket 4 level, just not have the game changers or anything. You can have a bracket 3 deck run at the CEDH level and not have everything required for a bracket 4 deck. Bracket 4 can do the same thing. Also, in reverse, you can have a bracket 4 deck that runs like a bracket 2 deck, supposedly like a slow, mellow, dramatic, casual deck. Then you can have a bracket 3 deck that runs like a core deck, core 2 deck, or core 1 deck, or whatever you want to call it. You know, and this is one of the things that strikes Hillbilly and his thoughts of maybe we need tier systems in the brackets, like small, medium, large, et cetera, however you want to say it, because maybe you're running a casual 3 deck and someone's running an aggro 3 deck or a powerful 3 deck, And so I understand his thing there, but maybe we add the 5th bracket to divide bracket 3 from bracket 4 as it is now. And we add another bracket that divides 3 from 4, making bracket 3 a 2 and a bracket 4 a 5 and a bracket 4 more what people are building bracket 3 now. Because let me show you something. Really quick, I want to read this. Godsire follower, what's up? It says brackets aren't just about deck building restrictions. It's always also about deck instant and consistency. That's right. It's just most players go with deck building limitations and call it a day. That's right.
That's my exact point. That's succinctly my point.
That's right. And Tyranny 3.5. Yeah, that could be something like that.
Tortoise, let me ask you a question about your extra bracket idea. What would you have if you were to add a bracket between what is 3 and 4 now?
Yeah.
What would you say? Okay, this is what a 3 is. This is what a 4 is. This is what my 3.5 would be.
Right. Here we go. Luckily, I came prepared. All right. So you see all this information?
Yeah, this is the actual bracket deck. This is the actual stuff.
Right. So to play at least 6 turns before anyone wins or loses, I think that right there should be separated from bracket 3. And bracket 4 is more powerful than that. So I think a 5th bracket in here could separate 3 and 4 and have the 6th turn be more towards the competitive side, because I think most people like me think 3 is more casual than 4, but lately we've been playing more competitive, and I think there's something that kind of needs to define that. Hence why I need to I'd have to redo this. Well, I made this lovely thing. Now, if you look at this lovely thing, and you're like, well, what's the difference between this? Well, first of all, I would upgrade this to have 5 brackets, 6 brackets technically. But like, if you look at the top, you got the descriptors of the brackets. Like, one's theme over function. You're building a deck just for theme and not function as a great deck compared to others. 2 is more for the beginner, where people who are beginning the game want to come in the game. That's the way they learn. Then 3 is the good deck, where you build just a good deck, and so on and so forth. Even though I basically copied 2 different bracket systems in here, right here, and put them in. But bracket 4 is more for winning. That's the intent. And 5 is just for winning. And I think what I did here was, with the titles of the brackets, was to give the intent of the bracket. And I think that's why we need something different, because like Hibbley's the response to, we need tiers to each bracket, is I think intent needs to be discussed. And that's one thing that's not even on this bracket system here, is the intent being discussed. Because I know it sounds silly. Whoops. I know it sounds silly, but not everybody plays Magic to win like that. But there are people who are playing to win, and it shows in their gameplay and their deck strategy. Because the point of a game is to try to win.
Right.
But not every game is about winning hardcore, because I've seen Group Hug's deck just to group hug for fun and not win, I've seen people do the pain deck where everybody's pained, even the player himself. Does stuff to pain everybody.
The other thing that happens here too is, sometimes you just get the perfect draw.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and sometimes the deck functions better than expected, and so on. So I think that's why it's important to play multiple games and let other games go.
100%.
But I'm finding myself in this situation just generally, where I went from a place where I was able to play 12 games a week or more to, I'm lucky if I can get a game in with these guys. Well, they were there, but it's up to me. But I can only get in maybe 1 or 2 games. So a loss or a bad night feels even more devastating, because it's the only chance that I got to play this month or something like that. So you have to balance expectations with outcomes.
And I do wonder if what Tybalt is talking about there, it skews my view a little bit, because I play legitimately 25 Commander games a week. We play 5 nights a week at my LGS. On Saturdays, we are playing Commander from 4 o'clock to 11 o'clock. We've got multiple pods going constantly. So we're getting in, I'm getting in a lot of games a week. So I see a lot of decks. And I've interacted with the bracket system to an absurd degree this early on in its existence.
Right.
So I wonder, because I hear what Tortoise is saying, that maybe turn 6 is too fast. So I'm wondering if, like, the answer is to just play actually bracket 2 decks.
Right. And maybe
take game changers out, whatever else the requirements are for bracket 2. But like, the thing about bracket 2 is, and they changed the wording slightly, but a bracket 2 deck is supposed to be roughly the same power as a precon.
Mm.
You go to the store, buy a precon, open it up, don't change a card. That's roughly the same power level as what a bracket 2 deck should be.
Well, they actually changed that.
They did. They changed the wording on it because people were like precons, and I think that was more of a people were freaking out about their decks that people spent a lot of time working on being compared to a precon.
Well, no, it wasn't that. What it is Wizards made precons weaker on purpose, but lately they've been making precons that are baller.
That's what I was going to say. Are we talking a 2011 precon?
No.
Or are we talking 2024 precon?
There was a lot of confusion there.
Yeah.
And is it Syncrinx? I hope I'm saying that right. Syncrinx. Please let me know if I'm saying that right. If you want to let us know. Forced economy is good, and that was their goal. If they're the 5th, and every deck becomes a 3, it's the new power level 7. Well, I think just a little bit of wording is what will change it, because I don't think turn 3 decks or bracket 3 decks should win or kick a player by turn 6. Like in most decks I play, turn 6 is when things are starting to go.
Yep.
You know, that's when things are starting to flow. You know, that's where the game starts. Like for me, if you're winning or making a player leave the game by turn 6, I think you're playing more in the CDH realm, especially for winning by turn 4. You know, that's the thing. Like here's a question for you, Tybalt, and I'll hand the mic to you. What's the point of having 99 cards in your deck if you're not going to see 50% of them?
It's a good
That's
question.
actually the point of Commander. I don't want to step on Tybalt's shoes here, but I can answer this question from Sheldon, he didn't make the format, but Sheldon Minery absolutely popularized the format. And the reason for having it be 99 cards was that on a given game, you may get to see 30. Like that is literally the intention from the guy who popularized the format and gave us from what was just called Elder Dragon Highlander, and you could only use the original 7 Elder Dragons, to Commander that we have now.
Right. But like, you know, 99 cards, you know, you're hoping to see a good chunk of them. That's what I'm saying. But anyways, what were you about to say?
So what I was going to say was I was going to attack your syntax. Not attack it, but you said CEDH when maybe it would have been a better descriptor to say play aggressively. Because CEDH is kind of a thing by itself.
Right.
Whereas, but I agree with what you're saying. I agree that if you're winning, in my opinion, if you're winning by turn 6, you're playing aggressively. And this is where it comes down to intent, and it becomes what people are feeling and trying to go for and stuff. Where we're playing a bracket 3 deck and we're playing a casual game, other people maybe are playing a bracket 3 and intending to win by 6 and therefore playing more aggressively.
Oh yeah.
I think I have one deck in that box, as you guys have seen. I lay it out before each game I do with you guys. I have one deck in that game that can win by turn, like on turn 6, it can win. And that's the one I played. I played Reality Chip. You guys are say you're playing bracket 4. I'm like, oh crap, I have to play the fastest deck that I have and hope that I have enough interaction to protect. But when I went back to my LGS the next day, everybody was like, bro, those decks weren't bracket 4. Like, those decks weren't bracket 4 because we've played bracket 4. And you better be presenting a win, trying to like literally say, I'm going to win right now if you do not stop this on like turn 3 or turn 4. Like that's how powerful bracket 4 decks are.
Well, let me kind of give you a little walk in our recent history. When they came out with this bracket system, it was people. Yeah, it's the first rendition of the first one.
Okay.
It's the one they redid it to make more sense. When they did this bracket, they highlighted in the conference that this was to bring up deck discussions and talk about fair games and what's expected. But then when we moved to this bracket system, which is still fairly the same, but with a lot of changes, they took out the discussion part. They're like saying this is better. People a lot discussed it. This is what we came down with. They thanked someone for designing it. And what I think happened between this, and this is why I think the fifth bracket would help the way we described earlier, is this was more for communication. People took this as something they could break.
Yeah, that's true. And I tell people all the time, listen, if you try and break this, you can break it super easily.
Oh yeah.
If you can't stop bad actors from doing that.
That's right.
And that's why I beat intent. If you are building the best possible bracket 3 deck that you can build, you did not build a bracket 3 deck.
Right.
You just built probably an incredibly middling bracket 4 deck.
Right. And like based on your synergies, your themes, and your construction, and to my own horn, kind of following this list right here. You can build a better deck, right? Your deck can run better for you. Your deck can run high and optimized too. You know, sometimes it's the skill of getting the perfect card. Sometimes it's having the money to put the certain cards in your deck. It varies. Trust me, it does. Like on what kind of deck you're building. But like sometimes people make it feel like a deck can vary beyond the synergy. And that's one of the greatest things about this bracket system is the one of the best things about this bracket system is it talks about powered synergy and strong themes and decks, because themes start from expedition, but synergy really takes hold on the upgraded part of this. And I think that was a big thing because synergy can change a game. You know,
I think another thing too is, and this is the responsibility of the person piloting the deck, is you can read the room.
Yeah.
And whatever you're playing, if it feels like it's going too well for you, you can always pull back and hold back if that's what you're doing. If you're just going for the win,
yeah,
of course you're going to lean into it and stuff. But
all right.
I
have
feel
absolutely taken cards out of my deck and made them worse. Like
Yeah.
said, this deck was too good. I've got to change things. I got to make it. I have to make the deck worse so it actually still fits into bracket 3. And I also think a lot of people who play Magic, especially when they're just starting out, are really bad at self-evaluation.
Oh yeah. Well, it's hard to self-evaluate when you're biased. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You don't have the experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's also true. It's very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think playing, like Tybalt said, what your deck does in one game. Let's use Lone Wolf last night, for example. Lone Wolf drops that Eldrazi on 5. Can he do that every game? I don't know. Probably not. If he can, then that is an incredibly powerful bracket 3 deck. I mean, that is at the tippy top level. If you're dropping Eldrazi on 5, you are at the tip top of what bracket 3 is.
Right.
Should that be put into a tier?
No, I still think it's okay because there's a lot of things that factor into whether or not you're going to win a game within a given bracket. Seat position, I think you guys read it out on one of the very first shows I watched. We have the data. We have collated hundreds of thousands of games. If you're in seat 4, you have a 10% less chance to win that game. Period. Flat out.
Me on Hillbilly's channel.
10%.
But anyways, seriously, I think one, like I said, people are trying to break this bracket system with the new bracket system out there the way it is. When I think, as Tybalt and I discussed before, it's all about the intent. You should try to gauge your deck based on the intent of the deck, based on its power. Like, for example, my Rafika the mini deck can work like a bracket 4 deck, so maybe I should qualify as a bracket 4 deck. Even though the poor deck only has one game changer in the deck, Voltron works as its own beast.
Yep.
You know.
Krinko is a perfect example of a deck that could, like you put an Arca deck and it says, hey, this is a bracket 2 deck. And it can legitimately contend with bracket 4 decks. Because if you do not kill Krinko, you are going to be overrun by goblins on the 4th or 5th turn and you're dead. And it has no game changers in it. It's just Krinko and how cracked that card is.
Krinko is cracked. That's funny. The word cracked. It's broken. All right.
Well, there is talk about them trying to come up with another bracket for the bracket system.
Right.
And put it in between either 2 and 3 or 3 and 4.
So look, like my opinion is they should add another bracket. They should clone bracket 3 and put it before bracket 3 or put it at bracket 4 as spot. No, they should put it before bracket 3. Clone it, put it before it, and just take out the win by turn 6 clause or have a player removal by turn 6. Because I think what that does between bracket 3 and bracket 3 there is it clarifies the intent of the deck.
Right.
If they did that, then in that case, like when you're at a game, someone sits down and says, "Yeah, I can't win. I can't win by turn 6. I don't have player removal by turn 6," and that shows the intent. Because the point of the bracket system is to make games more fair amongst players.
And I don't think the bracket system says that you will win on turn 6. I think the intent of it is that you could kill someone by turn 6. The game can go longer, and most do. By the way, like I said, I play 25 a week. If I see one game that ends on 6 in a week, it's not very common.
It's crazy. That's what it is. It's crazy. It's a madhouse. Everybody. And really quick, yeah, we're gonna try to do the movers and shakers tomorrow because of what time it is. But we still got the question of the day, my friend.
Oh my gosh, we didn't.
Oh my goodness, question of the day.
The question of the day. You forgot about the question of the day. Well, the question of the day is brought to you by me. Let's see what I asked in the same outfit I'm wearing. Super Fast Tortoise here with the question of the day. The question of the day being, what is something about Magic the Gathering that you would want made for you? Or created, or crafted, whatever it is. Let us know. If something can be done about Magic the Gathering for you personally, your personal desire to have it, what is it?
I'm going to jump right in and say I want a tutor card that has Tybalt. Only pull a red or black card for you.
That's awesome. I didn't realize.
Put my face on it and put there you go.
I didn't realize you had a shirt with your logo on it.
That's it. Yeah, there's the one and only shirt of this type. It's ridiculous,
Nice.
but anyhow.
You should put it on your eShop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sell it on TCG Player. That'd be awesome. But anyways, so Hillbilly, if you could have something made just for you for Magic, what would it be? And it doesn't have to be Magic card. It can be anything Magic.
Better bracket system.
Fair point. On topic, on theme. Synergy. What about you, Rayman?
So back in the day, if you were lucky enough to get invited to the invitational and win the invitational, you got a cool card. You got to design it. It went through R&D. You got to take some backs, but they got to put your face in it. There's a lot of cards out there that have people's faces on them from winning the invitational. So I've actually thought about this for years, and I personally would want a creature card that had the ability pay 2 blue and 2 blue and 1, tap it, counter target instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. I don't care how big it is. It can be a 0/1. That's what I want. I want my face on it with 2 blue and 1, tap, counter target instant or sorcery, so it can't pop creatures, and draw a card.
Nice.
Yeah, you know what I want? That's sorry, it's gonna be better than all y'all's size. They need to make a secret lair that stays open 24/7. Right? And what the secret lair is you input your own art, your own face, you use your own pictures, and they will serialize the card for you because it's your own card. Yeah, and what you do is you select a card from anywhere in Magic, put your own picture on it, and they will print a legitimate Magic card with your image on it. And maybe they'll tweak it up and send it to you for a fee.
Nice. That would be awesome.
Yeah. And another and I got to add one more thing too. They need to start making cards for YouTubers who do Magic. Like legitimate secret lair kind of cards. Like you get one Josh Lee Quiet, like a real Magic card of like Waste Not or something, or a Tybalt card where it's a force, not a force of will, but the Whispering Madness.
There you go.
You know, a hillbilly card that makes like food tokens. You know,
Nice.
a Ray card where it puts makes robot tokens. I don't know. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Says I want a 0-4 Drazi with a defender and another one. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That might work.
Yeah.
I would call my card Control Magic Apprentice.
Nice. But yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like customized cards for people. Like, can you imagine, like if they made it possible, would they make legitimate Magic cards with your artwork on it or your picture? Right? Like, I have a picture like this. And it's a counter spell. And it's a legitimate counter spell with my.
You know, you have a printer. You may not be a legitimate one, but you certainly could proxy.
Right. But like, it'd be cool. But yeah, I want a cinemasterpiece like Avengers production quality movie of Magic the Gathering. Says cool.
Nice.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Sounds like you. Says I think he's talking to Ray, but Aaron Soros or X. Yeah. But hey, all crazy fun and games, but nuts. But anyways, that was a fun question of the day. I was hoping it'd be fun. Normally we do that earlier in the show, folks. Normally, but the topic got so heated in the beginning, we just jumped right into it.
That's always a good sign.
Yeah, yeah, proxy decks are a thing. Yeah, and I know because like it's good that the ball came on before the show started because we know somewhere in the middle he would have jumped on and said, "I couldn't type fast enough."
Exactly. I'd have missed all the good topics and all the good insights that I had to add in if they were good. I don't know.
Well, they were brilliant. You defy Christmas by taking off your nose. Brilliant. Rejecting the nose, I guess. That was a Grinch quote I was trying to do. But anyways, any thoughts anybody wants to add to the end of the show?
I just think they need to improve the bracket system. I know there's still improvement that can be done to it, and I'm just hoping they can improve on the bracket system. If people are building towards your bracket system instead of decks, I understand that, but the bracket system's still not 100% fixed, and still, and I think by the way what they done was last time they updated it, I think they kind of screwed up on it with all the early turn wins. Telling people if your bracket weren't win by turn 6, it's this bracket. I don't think that should be in there, but hopefully that soon they will get that fixed where it's right. Right.
Yeah, that's why I think that 5th bracket in there would fit perfectly if they just took out that removing a player possibility clause in their first one, and so it's like bracket 2, or maybe it's bracket 3, and bracket 4 is what bracket 3 is now.
I mean, we are still in beta. That's something to remember. And I don't want to say I disagree with you guys because I don't necessarily, but I think that happiness is inversely proportionate to expectation. I wouldn't expect too much changes. Watsy has come out and said repeatedly. I mean, if you watch Good Morning Magic with Gavin Verhey, who's in charge of the Magic Commander panel, they poll people at the big Magic events, Las Vegas, and all the big cons that they do, and the bracket system has something like an 81% approval rating amongst players.
Well, it's still the bracket system. It just still needs some tweaking.
So I think they will make some more small changes, but I think any big changes just probably aren't going to happen. And again, I'm not saying that's how it should be, because I still think that there are changes to be made. I hate that game changers are a hard and fast rule where if you have a game changer in your deck, it does not matter what your deck is, what it does, it is bracket 3. I hate that. I hate that so much. I think it leads to a lot of feels bad. I think there's a lot of people who build a deck that has every right to be in 2. They want to put a game changer in it. Maybe it just fits really well with the synergy of their deck, and then suddenly they're in a bracket where they're not going to be able to compete more games than not. I think
Right.
that that's a feels bad thing. I think it needs to change.
Yep.
Right. And my thought on that is they won't be able to get that perfected on websites like Architect or Moxfield until they
No.
can actually clock decks. They can't clock decks on Moxfield or Architect. They can't see how fast it goes or how powerful it goes.
And you know what? If there's one thing, anyone who hears this, if there's one thing that if you take nothing else I ever say to heart, please don't just base what bracket your deck is on based on what Architect or Moxfield or EDH Rec tells you your deck is.
Mm-hmm.
It's all it's doing is looking at a few if X then Y variables. That's it. That's all it's looking at. It does not know your intent. It does not know how your draws are going to go. It knows nothing other than if X then Y. If you have a game changer, you're a 3. If you have a combo that you could, under godlike circumstances, play on the 5th turn that just wins you the game, you're a 4. You aren't. Please, people, please don't just use that as like use it as a guidepost. It is not gospel. Thank you.
That's right. That's right. Tabal, anything you want to add?
Yeah, the only thing that I'm going to say is I think chaos should rule. I say throw the bracket system out. I think our 1 to 10 was just fine because it let the person define what they were going for and gave us a better setting. I think adding the win buys in there were right in theory and feel, but some people like Rayman said are taking that as gospel. And that's what they're going for. So I think maybe that could have been shifted over a little bit more. Maybe the win by turn 6 is a bracket 4, whereas 10 or 15 or more is like the bracket 3, the more casual. I don't know that the people making those decisions, I know they're polling people and so on, and not everybody's going to have an opinion, but I do believe in the law of large numbers. And I think the more people that have input, the more we're going to find a happy medium. And a lot of these things can be solved turn 0 talk.
Mm-hmm. And one other thing, we could see some changes during this very show. I just got the alert that there are 7 people that just left the Magic Commander Committee, and they brought 2 new people in. It's a pretty big shakeup.
Wow.
And how many people have left the Commander Rules Advisor, whatever they call it these days, and only 2 new people coming in. So we'll see some changes. How big they are, I don't know. But with that big a shakeup that happened again during this very show, that's breaking news. If you're watching live, you're getting it first right here on Super Fast Tortoise Morning Coffee.
I haven't heard anything about that, but that'd be interesting to hear Gavin's morning talk about that.
For sure.
Of course, is what I think really is important is a clear and accurate threat assessment. That's right.
Yep.
And
kill tortoise first.
That's purely killing. Well, last night I wasn't killed first. I wasn't a major threat.
I thought about it, but then I saw Eldrazi, and I'm afraid.
That was a powerful play you did there, sir.
That was a lucky play.
Oh, man, that was crazy. But anyways, we need to get to the point of the show where we click this button right here.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. Show is lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise. Building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon. No one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house. We own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Woo! We had a solid 10 of you people watching. That's been awesome. If you like the show today and want to see more like this, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification. Get more shows like this. Whoop, whoop. As much as possible. We're always improving. We're looking to grow. All right.
Yep.
Now it's time for the shill section. But you want to say something, Hillbilly?
Nope.
It's time for the shill section. So we're going to start shilling, and we're going to start with the Rayman shilling.
Hey, thank you guys for having me again. I had an absolutely fantastic time. I don't have anything to shill yet, but as Tortoise knows, there's a lot of things moving behind the scenes, and I think we got some stuff cooking up pretty soon. So, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. Engage the algorithm. Help Tortoise and Hillbilly just keep growing. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and of course his tortoise started in hibernation this week. Nice. Sleep well, my tortoise. Mine does that when it gets cold too. Nice. All right, now it's time for Debalt.
Well, thank you so much for having me both last night and today on the show.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I just filmed a video just before this, another section of another segment for my Cruel Realities, where I talk about the most important advice I've ever been given by an entrepreneur, as well as channel updates and stuff. 2026, I'm going to be doing things a little bit more seriously, and a lot more things are going to be loyalty based as far as rewards go. So not everybody's going to get a cool sticker. If you want one, contact me. I'm out right now, but I'll be getting more. So if you want that, but anyhow, go to darkritual.site. That's where to keep up with everything that is Debalt's Apprentice.
Yeah. You can find the link in the description below. Whoop, whoop. And with that, we're going to rotate to Hey, Billy.
Hey, everybody. Today is Thursday. That means at 2 o'clock this afternoon, I will be doing a arena stream. This morning didn't go too well, but this afternoon is going to be a different story. And all I got planned for today is do some more arena.
Nice. All right. Super Fast Tortoise here today on this beautiful Thursday night. Hopefully, we're going to have a Tortoise Commander game tonight. Probably. I don't know. We're going to see what we're going to try to do. See who we can scrounge up. After last night, I think some people have felt the repercussions of that. You know, they got some whiplash going on last night. Holy cow. But hopefully we can get a good game tonight. We're going to try to get a game going. But if you're a viewer, part of the Discord, a subscriber, and want to play, when I post, let us know in Discord you want to play with us, and we'll let you play. Yeah. But with that, my friends, I want to thank everybody for being on the show. Hillbilly, Michael, the One Ray Man, thank you for being on the show. Everybody watching, thank you for being here, keeping us going, keeping the flame lit as we go. Want to remind you that you're awesome and amazing. Want to thank you, channel members, for supporting the channel the way you do. Subscribers for growing the channel the way you do. Liking, sharing, and everything you do helps out the channel greatly, and I appreciate that. I'll remind you that you're loved. Someone's thinking about you, and if you can, say and or do something positive for someone else today, because you might be the change they need. And you know what? We love you. I love you. You know, you do a lot. But with that, let's get to the end scene stuff.
I want to thank you, channel members of the channel, for supporting this creep the way you do. You are awesome. And you subscribers, everybody that subscribes, you're doing amazing too. Thank you very much for all that you do.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning,